winners. Let the pros show you how to make money. General Manager Al DeMarco, a regular contributor on Fox Sports, MSNBC, and Comcast Sports TV, brings over 25 years of handicapping experience to the table. CEO Steve Budin, the author of Bets, Drugs, and Rock and Roll, is the man responsible for creating the online betting industry. Together, they lead PickNation.com, your #1 source for winners.
We are halfway through the college football season. Some great games on tap today. Can the Texas Longhorns, fresh off that upset loss at home to West Virginia a week ago, rebound and recover today in their annual Red River rivalry shootout with Oklahoma? Remember, the Sooners took them to the woodshed last year. 55-17, Oklahoma rolled. How about Florida State? Up 16-0 at NC State last week and loses 17-16 to the Wolfpack. Well, today the Seminoles look to rebound from the first loss of the season, but they're laying over 27 points at home against Boston College. Then again, BC lost to Army last week. That was the Cadets' first win of the season. How about East Carolina? 11 consecutive covers against Memphis, but can the Pirates cover the big number? 17.5 today against the Tigers. Talk about letdown spots. The Florida Gators, off the big win in the Swamp against LSU last Saturday. Well, today they're laying a little over 8 points at Vanderbilt. Now the Gators have won 21 consecutive games straight up in the series. They've covered 5 of their last 7 in Nashville. But keep this in mind, Vanderbilt has covered 9 straight home games, and the Commodores are coming off a 19-15 win at Missouri as a 7-point dog. And remember, they opened the season against South Carolina, gave the Gamecocks all they can handle in a 4-point loss. And finally, can the road team cover once again? In fact, for the 14th time in 16 meetings, when Minnesota hosts Northwestern today. Remember, the Wildcats blew a big second-half lead at Penn State a week ago. Guys, to be honest, I don't have the answers to any of those questions because they're not the games I'm going to be focusing on today. I've got 3 free picks coming up for you in just a moment. The first one, the SEC showdown between South Carolina and LSU among 3 selections, plus a huge money-saving coupon code coming your way in just a moment. Hi, everyone. Al DeMarco here, General Manager of the world's largest online sports gambling community, PickNation.com. Proud to be joining you here on FoxSports.com for a 6th consecutive season, bringing you all the best games in college and pro football every weekend from a point spread perspective, as I use my experience as a handicapper for the past 25 years to give you winners. And guys, that first game, as I said, we're going to head down to Baton Rouge and take a look at that game between South Carolina and LSU. Tigers, of course, coming off the loss at Florida, 2.5-point favorite in this one. South Carolina, of course, coming off perhaps its biggest game of the season, because you know how Steve Spurrier just loves beating up the Georgia Bulldogs, and that's exactly what they did last week, 35-7. A Georgia team that had been averaging 48 points and 536 yards a game was held in check in that contest. The South Carolina defense allowed just 224 yards. Carolina's now won 10 straight games. LSU, as I said, coming off the 14-6 loss at Florida. You know, this South Carolina defense is for real, guys, giving up 10.5 points a game, holding opposing running backs to 2.4 yards per carry, 25 sacks already this season. Meanwhile, as for LSU, well, you know, Les Miles' team 6-17-1 versus the odds makers. Their last 24 games as an SEC home favorite, 6-17-1. Those type of numbers do not make you money in Vegas. However, they have won 10 of the last 11 meetings straight up at home in the series. As a matter of fact, the only loss was back in 1994. However, in this particular spot, I like South Carolina. Even though the Gamecocks are coming off the big win against Georgia, they are in revenge because last year they lost 24-17. The ground attack was silenced last year with just 39 yards. They were 1 for 9 on third down conversions. I like South Carolina in revenge because in a battle of 2 defensive teams, I've got to go with the team that at least shows you they can put the ball in the end zone. Guys, you realize at PickNation.com every single weekend we run a free fantasy football league contest in conjunction with DraftStreet.com. $500 of total prize money at stake, and it's free to enter. Just go to PickNation.com right now, guys. Fill out your lineup. You got to draft a couple of quarterbacks, a couple running backs, a couple wide receivers, a tight end. Put it all together. You've got until 1 o'clock Eastern Time on Sunday to finalize your roster. Again, $500 total prize pool. And remember, this isn't like your father's fantasy football league, guys. This contest is finished after the Monday night game. So on Tuesday, you're going to know who won. Free to enter. Fantasy football, $500 at stake. Right now, enter at picknation.com. Next guy I'm going to turn to, staying in the state of Louisiana, we head to Shreveport. A makeup game. Canceled, postponed, whatever you want to say, because of the hurricane back in September, where Louisiana Tech is hosting Texas A&M. Now, the Aggies are a 7 to 7.5 point favorite in this contest, but guys, don't sleep on Louisiana Tech. This is a team that has covered 12 of its last 13 games. This is a team that has covered 11 consecutive road games. And remember, this is not in Ruston. This is in Shreveport today. This is an LA Tech team that's 5-0 straight up this season, averaging 53.2 points a game. And you heard me right, guys. That is not a mistake. 53.2 points a game. This is a team that beat up UNLV last week, 58-31. Did not get caught looking ahead to this game after coming off road upsets of Illinois and Virginia. Meanwhile, Texas A&M found itself down by 10 points last week late at Ole Miss because of 6 turnovers, but the Aggies managed to rebound in that contest for the 30-27 victory. You've got 2 exceptionally exciting quarterbacks in this contest. Colby Cameron for Louisiana Tech has completed 68% of his passes, 13 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, averaging 291 yards passing a game. You've got Johnny Manziel, the redshirt freshman for the Aggies, guiding an offense that's averaging 517 yards a game. But you also have Texas A&M on its 2nd straight road game. Huge look-ahead game with LSU next week. I say go with the dog playing in its home state. Grab the points with Louisiana Tech in this contest. Listen, guys, I've got a special offer for you today. If you want to know who the big bettors and the big betting syndicates in Vegas have on their card today and for the next 7 days, well, you can find out thanks to the Insider Money Move service that we offer at picknation.com. This is a revolutionary service, guys. A lot of guys talk about, oh, hey, you got to find out what the late steam moves are. You got to see what the big plays in Vegas. That's mainly marketing and all hype. It doesn't exist. This is truly, from our sources in the top Vegas casinos, the plays from the biggest bettors and the biggest betting syndicates, and you get them minutes before the game starts. It's the Insider Money Move service. And here's the deal, guys. Normally, 7 days of the service costs $179. I'm going to give it to you for $5. $5. Just go to picknation.com, click on Insider Money Moves, and by the way, on the Insider Money Moves page, you'll see a video of me that really goes in depth and explains how the service works, and you can get it for $5 simply by using the coupon code you see at the bottom of the screen flashing, and that is Insider5. Insider5. That will save you $174, get you 7 days of action, all your college football week action this weekend, all your NFL action on Sunday and Monday, 7 days of action for just $5. Use the coupon code Insider5, Insider Money Move service at picknation.com. Your next free pick, guys. West Virginia, as I noted at the beginning of this report, is coming off the big road upset in Austin against the Longhorns. Well, today, the Mountaineers stay in the Longhorn state, and they're laying 4 points in Lubbock against Texas Tech. It is hard for me, looking at this price, to stop myself from telling you to go with West Virginia. And why not? I mean, Geno Smith, 24 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, coming off the win against Texas. And even though it's another road game, keep in mind the Mountaineers are 9-3 against the spread in the second of back-to-back road games the last 12 times they've been in this situation. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is West Virginia doesn't play any defense. Gave up 63 points to Baylor, gave up 45 points to Texas. Their pass defense, what pass defense? I mean, anybody can throw in this West Virginia team. But again, I go back to Geno Smith. When your quarterback is throwing 24 touchdown passes against 0 interceptions, you've got a chance. And as a 4.5 point road favorite, you've got a great chance, especially considering the fact that Texas Tech is coming off a 41-20 home loss to Oklahoma. Now, the Red Raiders got off to a fast 4-0 start, but look at the competition. Northwestern State, Texas State, are you serious? New Mexico, Iowa State. Cupcakes, guys. That's how they built that 4-0 record. Again, it's a cheap price, so you got to go with West Virginia in this contest. Well, that'll do it here for the Saturday edition of the Countdown to Kickoff show. Remember, guys, go to picknation.com every single day. I've got a daily video report where I break down your top games from a point spread perspective, back with in-depth analysis, money-saving discount coupon codes. We have the Charity Play of the Week promotion and more, and it's free to watch over at picknation.com. Al DeMarco here, catching you again tomorrow with the Sunday edition of the Countdown to Kickoff show as we do it again in the NFL.